Hello, everyone, and good evening. It is Bev, and I am here on xTool's YouTube channel, and we are going live tonight to talk about the O1 Omni. I've been here 2 nights. Tonight's the third night. I appreciate everyone who has come in and hung out with me for the last 2 nights. And so tonight we're going to make a couple of projects, and I'm going to try to answer more questions and answer whatever I can. I'm going to turn the chat on over here so I can read and catch up with you guys. My voice is a little low. If you can hear me, it looks like my mic is working, but because technology is not necessarily my friend, if you let me know if you cannot hear me, and I will do my best. Okay. So, hello, Scott from Lorain, Ohio. How's the weather up there? I have friends like up northeast and getting horrible weather. Looking forward to this. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you're ordering everything. The P3 is amazing. So is the Wonder Press. I love my P3 so much. It's the third CO2 laser that I've owned in the course of owning CO2 lasers, and it is absolutely my favorite. Can print on plastic such as 3D prints. Yes, JDW Creations. It can't, I don't have anything 3D printed in here that I can think of off the top of my head, but it will absolutely print on 3D prints. So you just have to have it flat, flat surface for it to print on. Hello, the Philip Fly. I can't read that. Um, so it is not a cooler night for me. It is, our AC has been out all day. So I've kept all the lights in the studio off until like right before. And I rolled in a portable AC about an hour ago that I found in one of the storerooms here. So we're okay. We're like at 77 degrees. So I hope we're okay. Adjust the orientation. Steve, if I were smart enough to do that, I would do that, but I don't know how to do that. So maybe I'll try that for the next time. Thank you for that feedback, though. I don't know how. I just talk fast. That's why I do these. Let's see here. Can it print on a baseball, softball, or football? Yes, absolutely, Melissa. It absolutely can. It can also print on golf balls, ping pong balls, all of those things. When you're printing on a circular object like that, what it does is you only have a certain surface area that you can print. So like when I print golf balls, for me, it's like 0.9, 0.95. Is about the size that I can print on there before the ink starts spraying out and losing it. Hello, Joe. How are you? Guys, make sure you are scanning the QR code. Even though it says O1 to join, that is for whenever they were doing the flash giveaway. So make sure you scan the QR code to win, and they will email within 48 hours. Hello, Helix, my voice. Oh my goodness. Good evening, R. Where would I find the power requirements? It is a 110, but if you go to the xTool website and you click the link for the printer, it says new printer up there. Scroll all the way down and they have the charts. Let's see here. Oh, yay. Thank you, Not Fridge. That's an interesting name. Hello, Barbie. Let's see here. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, Carissa. Hello, Rico. How are you? Can the side panels fit in the printer to make it customizable? Can the side panels fit in? I don't understand the question. Can the side panels fit in the printer to make them customizable? I don't know. I don't know that. Oh, are you talking about this so that you could print, like make your own? I don't know about that. Does the printer work off Wi-Fi? Yes, I am on Wi-Fi right now. And so you can also connect via USB. I will say when I've done more detailed things like this one, USB was my friend because it went much faster switching to USB on larger projects. But you absolutely can work off of Wi-Fi. It just might be a little bit slower. ADA accessible signage. That is a really interesting question. So ADA has very detailed requirements for Braille and for Braille signage. They do have the dome for the varnish for any of the colors actually inside the studio. So I don't know if it's ADA compliant, but I do think that you could print Braille because it is the domed dots, if that makes sense. Hello, Lady Blue Bear. Hello from Santa Clarita. Oh, I love California. I'm missing open sauce, but if the power goes off, does it continue where it was at? I don't know that question. I have not, luckily, knock on wood, had to deal with that. I would always suggest having a power backup or some kind of surge protector, especially if you're doing a large project. Hello, Cherise, how are you? What holds the footballs So you can do, I don't have it in here. You can do literally a box of rice. You can use anything like that you can hold it steady. I'm sure that our friends are going to be printing 3D jigs as soon as they possibly can. I have one of those little tumbler holders from, I think I got it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, that, the old school when you'd put vinyl on it and just hold your tumbler still. I use that for so many things. Hello, Tom from Florida. Hello from Northern Wisconsin. Yay, Sherry. I'm so happy for you. Um, no, it does not have the software, the golf ball baseball setup. However, I will show you one of the new jig generators that it has, and it's really amazing. North Fort Myers, I lived in Parkland for years and years. I love Florida. What are the roll sizes for the roller for the UV DTF rolls? I do not know. I don't have that. So I don't know. Does the software calculate the usable engravable area on the balls? No, it does not. That's probably one of those things that you're going to have to just trial and error. How much will the total machine cost? All the pricing is on the website right now. And so it really depends on which model, but go to xtool.com and click new printer at the top. Hi, Beth. How are you, friend? It's good to see you here. Does a bigger base plate come with a printer? Yes, it does. California is really hot now. It's hot here. It's going to be 107 this week here in Texas. Harder to print on materials such as metals or glass. You will require adhesion promoter that is universal with most printers for different, this printer might do better with metal, and this printer might do better with acrylic, but almost all UV printers are going to need some sort of primer or promoter at some point. I have a bottle for my commercial UV printer, a promoter, but xTool sent us these different kind of wipes that I have been using with any of my projects, and they have done really well. They're like one-time use wipes. How much extra ink should I buy at first? Ink expires in a year. I have not even, we're at 80 something hours, and I have not even started replacing a lot of the inks on mine. I'd probably just say one extra round. Always keep, I think it's always good to just have one extra of everything around. So let's see, Northwest Florida, yay. New Mexico, wow, I love New Mexico. Minnesota, supplies that must be useful for those of us waiting. So supplies, we went through that last night, Lisa, and really you're going to need a microfiber cloth. You're going to need some alcohol prep pads for cleaning. And really, other than that, those are the only outside supplies that you need. The printer runs a humidifier. I'm sorry, you will need a humidifier. I saw people that were like shocked on Facebook that you need a humidifier. All printers, any brand, it is not exclusive to xTool. Printers love humidity. Ink loves humidity. 50% or above, get an evaporative humidifier. So that is one thing I would do. I use the DREO brand Dreo from Amazon. And so, yeah, a box of rice does a lot of things good. Yay, Beth. Can you print on canvas with the UVDT version? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Hello from Panama. Hello. Does it move projects between the printer? Yes, it does. It will have the system to where you pick. They took it off of this last software update, but prior to it, and I think that's because they're adding machines. But prior to that, you could choose, I'm going to use one machine or I'm going to use two machines when you did open project. And with two machines, you could choose the printer and then which laser you were going to choose. I don't know how much power on standby. I'm guessing very little, but I'm not good at that stuff. Will they be selling those wipes? I'm sure they will because they're branded. I'm positive that they're going to be selling these. What is the benefits of having the feeder, the roll feeder, so that you can do longer projects? Can you save a project later? And yes, you can. You can do that. You can save your projects to the cloud, and you now have sticky notes to write down all your details as well. How would you compare UV and sublimation for tumblers? So, UV is going to take longer to print than sublimation as far as depending on what you're using. So when I made sublimation tumblers, I had a tumbler press, I wrapped it, I pressed it. I think it was, I don't remember, 90 seconds aside or something like that. Hello, Richard. So, it's going to take longer. However, I feel like you have a little bit of texture. I feel like it feels more premium to have the UV print versus sublimation. I have a girlfriend that she actually sublimates tumblers and then she goes back and she UV prints like the name or things like that. So it's like two-dimensional. Is that the right word? Let me see. but I personally prefer the UV printing. If you use non-standard cylinder with a rotary tool, does the printer scan? Yes, it does. If you go back to the Sheldon, if you go back and watch my live from last night, we went through all of the rotary stuff and you can see what it does. Hi, Pam. How are you? I love to see happy faces and familiar faces. You guys have been so sweet too. I'm going to try to talk fast tonight so that we get through projects, but the messages you guys have sent me saying that you enjoyed the lives, they really like, it's hard when you're not an influencer, like this is not what you do. And I hate the word influencer because those people really spend time creating content. But anyway, it's hard to get up here sometimes. Commercial, can we use a silicone sticky mat? Yes, you can absolutely use a silicone sticky mat. And I'm sure that that people will be producing them too. Is that also a rule for sublimation printers? Yes. If you have a sublimation printer and you're constantly getting clogs, pop a humidifier near it, make sure it's evaporative, and those clogs are going to go away. Single or dual head? I have the dual head UV is what I have. Hello, New Mexico. We have a couple of New Mexico people. Does the dual UV have two maintenance waste tanks? Nope, it only has one maintenance waste tank. Are the prints waterproof for outdoor signage? Yes, they are. I don't know about how long you would want to put them outside in like direct sunlight. I'm not sure. Hello. I can't say your username, but yes, I wish I had time to do one with the Omni and the P3. Which xTool laser would you recommend? I have a Glowforge Pro now, and okay, I love my P3. I went from a Glowforge in 2019, and then in 2023, I went to another brand that was like 60 watt, and then I went to the P3, which is 80 watt. Hands down, the dual camera in the P3, it's my favorite. And the power, we cut through 1-inch acrylic without even on the medium lens without batting an eye. I love my P3, absolutely love it. So if you have the space for the P3, that would be my recommendation all day long. Uneven or slightly curved? Yes, it can. It's going to print at the highest level. So depending on wherever your curves or drops are, you might get distortion. I'm going to show you something right here in just a second. Hello, Michelle. It's good to see you. Make sure you're not just commenting O1 because that was when they were doing the quick draw. Make sure you are scanning the QR code to enter to win ink. Is the colored ink flexible by itself? White leatherette patch, single head. Yes, you could. You absolutely could do that. Forced happy face. You know, I was just hoping that no one walks into our hallway. I mean, I'm in an office building. Usually at nighttime, it's like totally dead. But I turned the hallway AC down to like 65 degrees, hoping it would like cool off in here. Mm. Having a UV printer, will this also need the basic head maintenance, say commercial? Yes, absolutely. Same thing. If you want to watch me do the maintenance, last night I did it on live. And so you can just scroll back on one video or two videos on the YouTube channel. Can you put transfer plate tape over the plates to help keep them clean? I'm sure you can. My plates are disgusting. I don't have any new ones. And so I'm about to go buy an old school Cricut mat, cut it up and put it on my plate. Iowa, hello, Iowa, hello, Oklahoma. Surface prep treatment. So xTool will be carrying them. So they will have the surface prep treatments. The other one that I use for my large printer is, oh gosh, what is it called? Not Firestone. I'll think of it. But it's in a bottle and it's really expensive. It's like $80 for this tiny little bottle. I much prefer the wipes. And so are there colors you can't print? No, you can print. It is color spectrum. It's like a photograph. So any PNG, anything like that. I had it when we were in the demo, or not the demo stage, in the testing stage. I had it on an IKEA BROR cart. Cannot say it. And it was fine. And so I've seen some people say that that's not heavy enough because, you know, the printer does move back and forth, but I locked my wheels and it was fine. And I did that because I'd have to hide the printer anytime someone came into the demo room for a demo. And I find it was just fine. I did turn it sideways so that you do not want your doors hanging down off the table. You want them supported at some point. So I just turned it sideways on the cart. Right now we're on a Husky table, actually Gladiator table from Home Depot. And so, yes, the P3 is the best. What other machines can you do print and cut with? My understanding is that almost any of the lasers in the xTool ecosystem that cut and have a camera are going to be integrated. And so the P2S is great, great laser as well. And so do we scan to enter? Yes, please scan to enter. I'm sorry for your power outage. Let me see here. I have the dual UV. Was supposed to get a UV DT last Monday. It got delayed. Friday, it didn't show up. They said 11 to 1 on Friday. It got stuck in Kentucky. Now it's saying on Monday. So I had really had high hopes of having both of them here for you guys this weekend. Hello, NC Creations. I'm so happy to see you, friend. It is good to see your name. So do we scan and re-enter every live? Yes, you do. You can enter as many times as you want. Direct print on tumbler would it be safe in a dishwasher? No. And honestly, any of these tumblers are not dishwasher safe anyway. The vacuum sealed stainless steel are not dishwasher safe. So can you do it? Yes. Do I do it? Yes. Am I going to tell customers to do it? No. So, and I've also seen where the newer dishwashers that get super hot will do more damage than, let's say, maybe in an older dishwasher that that it doesn't get that hot. Oh, someone just came in. I might have to shut my door. Probably we cut and print, but what other machines can you cut besides the P3? Any of the ones that have the camera are going to be integrated. Let's see here. Possible to print on a book edge so that there's sprayed edges. I think it would be, as long as you could jig it up somehow. And it depends on how far the binding of the book cover. An open question, but how often do cartridges need to be replaced? Really depends on how much you print. I have been printing, let's see here. Let's go to my little screen, and I'm going to turn this down for a second. I'm going to turn off the graphics so you guys can see it and move this over. And let's see, we'll just make that the big screen so you guys can see. I have been printing now, so 87 hours, 733 times, and I have not started replacing my CMYK yet. I have not replaced my flexible white yet. I've only replaced a waste tank and then the other inks. So, I mean, it is pretty, pretty long term for the inks. So you have a while. Let's see here. I'm going to put that back up for you guys. I want you to enter. Let me see here. Your sign says coming. I know it does. I didn't make the sign. That was from, there's a lot of lives going on. Please scan the QR code if you want to enter to win. I don't know what to tell you. Yesterday we spoke about the UV ink not being food safe. It is not food safe. I don't really know the answer to that. I guess you could tell people that, but honestly, most people drink with a straw and a lid with these, but almost anything you buy at the store is UV printed. So I don't really know. I guess to err on the side of caution. Do you think it would be something you could take? It's 90 pounds, but I do think it is possible. Have you tried any free third-party AIs to make projects? No, I have not. If my space has windows, do I need to be concerned with sunlight? Yes. You do not want it in direct sunlight for it. How opaque is the white? Very opaque. Yes, you can do a two-sided acrylic photo. I would probably put 2 layers of white in between versus just one. Can it print on metallic gold acrylic? Yes, it can. Dual UV, and they print it on canvas bag. Will this make it through the wash? It should, but I don't know that for a fact. Is there a way to download this version of xTool Studio? No, they will not have it released until printers start shipping. The P3 is integrated. Let's see. I have the dual UV, Tanya. Does it come with a waste tank? Yes, it comes with the waste tanks. Waste tanks are not reusable. They are throwaway. Let's see here. This is what they look like. And you just safely throw them away. And so depending on your city and the rules for throwing away ink. Let's see, next tool machines. I know Burlington's going to be great. Did you, on the original live show that xTool did, they printed on the left side and showed the print had traveled only in short passes without running the full length path. Does it work also if you place? I don't know the question, Steve. I'm not understanding, but it should, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. Yay, it's Paul. When is the printer expected to ship to the US? I think they're saying September. Do you have it plugged into a computer? No, I have it on Wi-Fi, although you can plug it into the computer. Yes, KRE, it is Bev. Yes, you do need to put promoter on glassware before you print on it so that the ink will adhere properly. Absolutely need to do that. You cannot empty the waste tank. It is disposable. Everything stays inside. That is a really good safety feature, though, because you do not want UV ink on your hands. It is corrosive and it will burn. So I mean, I don't know, Leroy. The waste tanks are cheap. I can't really tell you. So Richard, that is the best. Okay, we are to a point where we can actually start talking about some other things. So today, so the rule is sometimes like, in crafting groups and in other groups, it's like that you're not supposed to show when you mess up, right? But I'm going to tell you that I'm one of those people that I like fail forward, okay? And I'm willing to try anything. I am not an artist, so I can't hand paint, right? So I did try now I have a friend who's supposed to be making me a 3D jig, okay? This is not perfect. I could not get it totally flat. But I just want to show you guys that on the large thing, there is a lot of promise here. I was able to print a hat. Now there's a lot of ink overspray where it was not even. I couldn't figure out how to hold it down completely flat in there. I just made a jig on the P3 really quick and dirty today, just like a cutout hole, and I used tape to prop it up. But I can't wait to get a 3D printed jig to where I can get this flat. Now, I will say the edges of the hat, like I couldn't print edge to edge over here. But if you are someone who likes to laser the hats or do something like that, there's some really, I'm like, I know that this project is not, like it's not good, right? It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. In fact, there's a lot of ink overspray, stuff like that. However, it was just exciting to really try something new and try something different and see how it would come up. And so let's see here. I'm trying to see here. Have you ever aftermarket promoter? Yes, on my commercial UV, I use Firebird. That's the name of brand. That's what I use. Link to the promoter. I don't know. I think this will just be on the xTool website. And so all promoter smells horrible. It's horrible smelling. My bottle of it smells horrible. It gives me a headache. These smell horrible. I think it just has to do with what promoter is. Let's see. You can manage the print head travel. Roland has it. I don't know if we have it, but my Roland does have it. So yes, I mean, like, I just feel like there's so much promise for some really artistic projects that I could not do in my commercial UV printer. Like I couldn't even fit this in there. And 4 or 5 times the cost of this one. So I'm really excited. I know it's not perfect, but I did want to show you guys something. Like, don't be afraid to like grab something, try it. I can't wait to try it again with a jig and have it hold like all flat, because I think that there's something here. So I might try to take a hand paint it. Like I might try to touch it up. I don't know what I'm going to do. But can we carry wherever we want, even if there is ink inside? I don't know the official answer to that, but I know that every piece of equipment is on the xTool truck trailer that they travel with, and it seems to be okay. So no, I mean, it's not really bad on the hat. I mean, it just, you can see though, like there's areas like it just needs to be a little bit better. But for a first try, I'm thrilled. Thank you, Barbie. Thanks, Peach. So I actually have a friend who lives right by me who I have one that fits in my P3. Okay. I have a hat jig that fits in my P3. And it was like this much too wide to fit in here, but because it was 3D printed, I couldn't use it. So Firebird is the brand of promoter that I use. So xTool, no help at open source. Oh, I'm so sad. Because I know that they're swamped. I know that they told me that they were super swamped there. Is the promoter the same for most materials? No, there's one for acrylic, there's one for glass and ceramics, and then there's one for metal. And so let's see here. Thank you, Sandy. Hi, Miss Sandy. How are you? So, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I could do that. I mean, I really could do some fun stuff with this. So I walk outside and use my promoter. Like I literally take my stuff outside and do it. And let's see here. Thank you, Charisse. Highest height disparity. Um, I think it's Richard might know the answer to that. I think it's 3 millimeters. Um, so thank you so much. Does a printer need to be in a dust-free environment? So it really is helpful to be in a dust-free environment. There's no UV printer that I know that is a totally closed system, especially when you go into a flat, larger bed. So the less dust, the better. I tend to lint roll everything. And so, yes, thank you. Can you only print on flat items? No, you need to have flat items because it will not dip down and you can't localize where you're printing like you could maybe a laser. Okay, let's talk about projects. Let's go to a project, okay? I'm going to hide the graphics, so scan fast because I'm hiding it right now. And I'm going to put my studio up for you guys. And I'm going to, let me see, you guys could not see. I'm going to hide my camera for a second so that you guys can see the full screen because I think you can't whenever we have the other one up. Maybe we could do it this way. Does that hide it? Nope, that hides it too, doesn't it? Let's see. We'll move me over here. Nope, that doesn't do it. Okay, sorry. We'll just go back to here. There we go. And I'll go back to full screen. Okay, then let's see here. And now I won't be able to see chat whenever I'm doing this. And the question is the height difference for printing. And let's see. Oh yeah, you're going to be very busy. It's so much fun. So let's go over here. And I have 2 different projects tonight that are going to be super fun. And I'm going to go ahead and let me see. I'm going to change my bed on my printer. And we are going to, I probably am going to need to change the camera back after I get some of this done so that you can see what I'm doing. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I'm still here. I'm just putting my small bed. I'm just switching it out over here. And let's see here. So I'm going to switch it. And then I am going to come back here until I get to the settings part. I'm going to go ahead and put my screen back up. There we go. So that you guys can see. On the dual, can your print transfers be put on shirts? And no, you need the UVDT to do that. Hello from Adelaide. And okay, so we are going to print, I guess you guys can see the little things that I have on the printer right now. We're going to print some mini figs today because I want to show you how small you can print. So I ran a little test earlier today, this little guy down here. And so obviously the flatter you are, so see here where his feet stick out, right? So the color is better up here. So I'm probably going to do more shirts versus this, but we print a lot of blocks. They're not like sometimes they're called other things like brand names, but we do print a lot of these. And I'm going to, can you clean the overspray on the bed? No, I've tried. It doesn't come clean. So I need to just actually like get a new one. So we're going to start with this because these are really fun to do. People love to do photographs of these and give them, but we're going to make a little scene today. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put my building block on my table, and then I'm going to go ahead and scan it. It's so, let's see, on the dual, let's see, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, it will cause clumps. And on any printing, even eco solvent, as printers or decals are coming out of my Roland, if dust gets on them before they go back in to be cut, they're totally ruined. And so it's very discouraging whenever you printed all of them and you think, oh, I'm done. And then you're not. So let's see here. I'm going to put this back up while it's scanning so that you guys can scan to win. I'm so sorry. It is so hot in here. I'm like hanging on though, hanging on even with the heat. Let's see here. Okay, and now we should be scanned. All right, so I'm going to turn off the little graphic over here and we're going to go back over to the studio. So now I have this right here. I'm trying to make the background for our scene. And I want all of this, the little Lego clothes. Oops, they're not Legos, they're minifigs. Sorry, guys. We don't want anyone to get in trouble. So we're going to put all of this, and I'm going to group all of those things. And I'm going to group all of these. I'm going to say no output because I'm ignoring those for now. So then I have this. And so it is not sized for my Lego. First of all, I hate when things aren't cropped, but so we're going to start off with cropping, and I'm going to save it. And then I can always take some bricks off. So right now I'm going to smart mask it, and I'm going to run my extraction. And so there we go. That's perfect. I'm going to say apply. And so now I'm going to go ahead and put this over my little Lego hut, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to also undo this. We're going to make it a little, whoops. So I want to try to get it to where it's at a line. So that way, whenever I take it apart, so I only want to print those. I don't want to rescan. So I'm only going to print those. And then whenever I can take it apart, it won't be over the other ones. So that's it. So I have that, and I'm not going to print with white because I don't really need white. These are kind of cream colored. So I'm just going to do color only. And then I'm also going to come up here, whoops, and I'm going to say fast. We're going to go ahead and do fast printing. And I'm going to do the speed boost, and we're going to go ahead and process. Now, eventually, I hope you guys can see this. Right now it says 1 minute, 17 seconds. Eventually, this right here will show us our cost per print. But coming from UV printing, I can tell you that most prints are pennies, if even that. They're micro pennies, if you will. So now we're going to go ahead, and that's going to print. And while that's printing, I'm coming back over to you guys. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to put this back up, and I'm going to come here. So yes, Lisa, I don't think that's a bad thing to put a dust cover over it at all. Let's see here. I mean, it never hurts to keep your stuff. Guys that are typing in O1, also scan the QR code. The O1 was from the original spin to win, or however they did that. So if you would like to enter for the ink, please scan the QR code. So yay, George, I'm so excited for you. It is really, really fun. I mean, we print all kinds of stuff all day, every day. And it's funny because I was doing a demo for someone earlier today, and there were a lot of questions because, in the laser world, we have to be careful. What kind of leather are we printing on or lasering? What kind of material is it? Will that work? Will it, toxic fumes? Can you laser this? Can you laser that? Where with printing, it's really a matter of, is the ink going to stick? And, and you test an area, and then you're able to print. Printing is much more forgiving. And so you don't have to worry about the toxicity. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to hide this little, well, actually I can leave it while I do this. So now we're finished. And so I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to take off my top layers, and let's see here. So right here, so this is going to be our little background. I'm going to put him right here on our little Lego, or little, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't want to get in trouble, but on our little thing here, our little base plate. So I have my little base plate. I'm going to put him up here for now. And so now I'm going to make our little men. And I should have pre-made these. I'm really sorry. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to chat while we make our little men. And so I do suggest an air purifier. I do not have one hooked up. There is an internal purifier that takes out like 94% of the VOCs. But if I were operating this in my home, I would most definitely have an air purifier attached. There's a vent right back here. You could do the desktop air purifier or the AP2. So will the software allow you to take a large picture and divide it up? Yes, you could. So if I had like 3 things masked, I absolutely could spread it out across the 3 things. So let's see, when you pull all the bricks apart, are the edges clean? They are clean. They're very clean whenever you pull them apart. We do this with photos a lot, and then you put them in a box for a puzzle, but they're very clean. So it prints seamlessly. It's a really fun thing. Okay, put that there. Okay, so we have our little purple guy. Oh, you guys, this brings back memories of making all of these. I I have to remember how to put these together. I used to make, my kids are older, like they're adults now. They're much older, but I do remember the Lego days. So we're going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sweating. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. While I put these together, I'm going to have a generator run. So while I'm doing this, we're going to switch. I'm going to put these together while we run a generator, so that way we can print our second project and not run out of time tonight. Hello, Ever After Studio. Let's see here. So I'm going to go to my other page that I have. So I have this sunset, and we're going to print this on clear acrylic. I have to take the sheet off. So if we have time, we're going to print it. But I want to show you all the generators while I'm putting these minifigs together. But the generators that are built in are so amazing. And they have added so many things for the Omni. So a 3D glass, which I've shown in the last couple of lives, the crochet pattern, the lenticular cards, cake toppers, wedding signs, oil paintings, stickers, stained glass, which is what we're going to use, and jigs. And so it's going to be really, really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the stained glass generator, and I'm going to create new. And let's see. Oh, let me see here. Hold on. I did not upload image. Oh, let's see. I dropped it onto here, but I don't have this on my computer. On this computer, I did it on my other one. I can't export. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Hold on. Let me see here. Good thing. Good question here, right? Because I did it on my other computer. I'm going to just save it as an SVG, and we're going to see what happens. I don't think it'll work, but let's upload it and see. And right there, open. Oh, there we go. Okay, it did work. So varnish type, I'm going to go ahead and do, you could do gloss or matte. Layers, we want a texture layer, and I'm going to export after I generate. So we're going to generate. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. So while that is generating, I'm coming back over here, and we're going to make some minifigs. Okay. So the white for the stained glass effect, there is, thank you, Barbie. It is like, I'm a little nervous. I'm so sorry, guys. But the white, you don't use white at all for stained glass, because you want it to be see-through, so that you can have the sunshine through it, theoretically. And then let's see here. We're going to put the legs on the little men. We might only do 2 men, because this is going to be, this is a little absurd over here. They don't want to go into their spots. Wait, is that how they go? I don't even know. Let me see. Highlight and click on top icon for AI. M2 versus P3 all day long. Use Adams credits, 6 Adams credits. On the 3D prints, can you determine where gloss goes? Yes, you have spot channels. Thank you, Ever After. So yes, I'm so excited for that. Can you recommend certain suppliers for acrylics that print well for this purpose? Almost any acrylic is going to print well. Depending on where you're at, there's a lot of acrylic suppliers. You guys, this purple one's not going together, so we're going to go to a yellow one. There's a lot of suppliers for acrylic, so I just downloaded it and put it back in. It's generating in the background over here, and so let's see here. And it's still, oops, service gener. Let's see if it's doing it again. No, it's giving me an error. Hold on. Oh, it's 12 credits. I thought it was only 6. Let's see here. I'm going to show that out. And then let me see if I have any photos in my downloads over here. I only have Arlo. We can do Arlo again. Hold on. Maybe this one. I don't know if that's going to do, if the parrot will do a good job, or here, we'll do the, we're going to delete this. We will do the blue bonnets. And so replace image. And I'm going to go here to my blue bonnet picture. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to go ahead and generate that. I think because it was an SVG, it was probably giving us errors. So there we go. So I don't use it on every project, but I do use it quite often. So I definitely think you need the promoters on hand, because you never know when it's going to work and when it's not going to work. You guys, none of my little brick men want to go. Their legs don't want to go on. I don't understand because I did this guy earlier as a test and none of them want to go. Yes, you can give it texture. It actually does it more. So I'm sure that you can play with that, Ross. I mean, I'm just using the generator and because that's my job here. And when does it ship out? Sometime I think in September. So we love Arlo. I know I love my Arlo. I need to buy some pre-treatment spray for the DTG aspect. The DTG spray will come. You know what? We're going to just forget these little minifigs for a second because they're making me mad. But so hi Davila. It actually comes with it. I showed last night in case you want to go back and watch, but it will actually come with the bottles. So my DTG spray came in, but my printer did not. But it will actually come with bottles for white and for the color as well. So thank you. I appreciate that. So thank you, Cherise. Okay, let's get this one printing because I'm failing at the other. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put this on and whoops, I knocked something off, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and put on our large tray. There we go. So I have the large tray on there. And so I am going to go ahead and measure this too. Well, I guess we'll just scan it. And I'm going to use a little. So this is double layered. And what I'm going to do is actually print. I guess it doesn't really matter which side I print on. I'm going to go ahead and just print on one of the sides. And then let's see here. So that way, whenever we put it back together, we can layer it back. And because it has a light up base, and I think it'll just be really pretty. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. All right, there's that. I'm going to lay it on my base right there. And there we go. Try to get it straight. It helps so much whenever the straighter you load it, even though you can adjust, it just really does help. And I'm going to open in Studio. Here we go. Switch. Okay. And scale to fit. Here we go. Okay, so it is in 3 different layers. And so I'm going to ungroup. So we need to ungroup them. And then what we're going to do is we print the ungroup again. We're going to print, you have to print them separately. I have tried printing them all at once, but basically you come back, you do the next layer, and then you come back and you do the next layer. So I'm going to turn this one off. We're going to turn off our output. And then I'm going to turn off this output. So the black outlines go last and the, whoops, turn that one off. And so I'm going to go ahead and scan my bed right now. And then we're going to put this one down first. So the color goes down first, then you print the texture, and then you print the black outlines on everything. While that's scanning, I'm going to come over here. So let's see. So Shane, I think it is shipping out in September. It really depends on where you're at. And so where would one acquire blank brickmen? So we buy these on Amazon in huge boxes. Like I just buy large boxes because we do a lot of this near Valentine's Day when people want photos and they give a little photo gift. We actually did some last year for prom season. They were like, take me to prom or whatever. And these were sent to me in my test kit by xTool, but I'm guessing that Amazon as well. So I would search blank minifig. And so, so yes, hold on. I will remove the QR code for a second there. And so it's just scanning the bed right now. And then I'm going to make this big so you can see my settings whenever I come in here. So the settings are will automatically come in and tell you what it's going to do. So this is going to be flat color only. So yes, you could change it if you wanted to, I guess. And let's see here after it scans. And I am going to do fast quality though, so that way we can get the project done all of it done because they're already 8:44. You guys, every night, I'm so sorry, I have gone over every single night. So I'm going to smart mask, run extraction, which I don't necessarily have to do this. I could just place it, but it helps keep it from going all over your bed. So then now I'm going to I am going to do this. I'm going to stack all of them up together, even though I don't need these right now. What I'm doing though is making sure that everything stays aligned whenever I print it. And so this is going to be not quite the right ratio. So I am going to stretch it just a little bit. Whoops. Stretch them just a tad so that way they go to the edge of the right there. So, and this little bottom part is going to be in our stand. And I think that's pretty straight. We could probably go a little bit like 0.5 over. There we go. So I'm going to call that straight. And so we're only printing the color. It doesn't matter that the other ones are on there. So color only, we're doing fast, and we are doing a speed boost. And I'm going to process this now. And we are going to be printing 3 minutes and 57 seconds. So the longest thing we'll take is the varnish for the texture. So the texture of the varnish is what will take the very longest. And so now it's going to transfer over. And so I'm on Wi-Fi. It would be faster if I were on USB. Let's see here. What exactly is a blank minifig? A blank minifig is, well, I printed this on it earlier tonight. Hold on, I'm going to put my camera back up. So I printed on this earlier tonight as a test. And so they're just little men or people that go with your little scene. So unfortunately, I'm trying to get these other ones put together and they are not cooperating at all. I cannot get the body in. Oh, I think I know. I was backwards, you guys. I was trying to put it on the wrong part. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put the QR code back up for you guys while we do this. And then let's see. Thank you so much, Barbie. I appreciate that. The dual UV cannot do DGF, but has DTF. Correct. Is it really only the dual UV can do DTF stickers? No, all of them can do DTF stickers. Let me put that graphic back up so you can see it. Every single printer can do the DTF stickers. So you will need the laminator, UV DTF stickers and foil effects with a laminator on any of the printers. So tumblers on any of the printers, print on roll media with any of them with the roll feeder and the laminator. So if you're doing the single UV, soft materials go away, the fluorescent, the DTG, DTF also go away. If you are doing let's see, UVDT, then you're going to lose the soft materials and the fluorescent so that you can print on cotton material, or you can create transfers by printing on film. So, and then, so here is the DTG versus the DTF. So direct to garment printing, you are going to get more complex prints with your DTG. It understands gradients a little bit better than DTF does. So you can use your small details. Material for DTG, you want the highest quality cotton that you can get. The higher cotton content, the better the DTG is going to print. Colors are a little bit more dull on DTG. They're a little bit more vibrant on DTF. So it just really depends on which one that you would like to do. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put this one back up. And then, hi. So now I got the minifig, but that's okay. I'm glad we're printing the stained glass. But so now I will have him, we're going to add him to our little posse over here. And so, and then I have this little guy that we put swim trunks on. So it's a pool party, but we need to have put clothes on our other guys because that's odd. And so, whoops, he'll be there. And I'll keep putting them together. I was putting them backwards. You guys, I should know this. I had 4 kids. I had put together a lot of these through the ages. So let me see. Can you tell the software to auto fit the picture to the material? So if you scan it before you pull your photo in, so like if I have the smart mask on and then I pull it in, it will automatically snap into the borders and then you can micro adjust from there. And so Let's see, Shane. Yes, you can print on, I mean, like it's crazy how much you can print on with a UV printer. So let's see, they can all do DTG. No, only the UV DT can do DTG. I am using the dual UV. Okay, so I'm going to hide the QR code, and I'm also going to hide me and go back to full screen um, for the software so you can see what I'm doing. So this one is finished. So I'm not going to move my thing at all. I'm going to tell it output. I'm going to hide that one. And then I need the varnish only one. And I'm going to turn that one on. And so we are still on fast. I'm going to process. And oh, it's looking good. And so now this is just going to put all of this varnish where it looks like it's black. Oh, it says 56 minutes. So that's going to be super long. I'm going to go ahead and print it, and then I'll share it on the page, the xTool, the regular page, you guys. Oh my gosh. But varnish takes forever to do this special effects because it is raising it and creating all sorts of texture. So it is definitely a longer process. But we're going to just, I'll let it run. And then tomorrow I'll put the photos up of it while we are printing this. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put this back up. And now I will say this too. It's going to, hello, Stephen. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Do you recommend a sticky pad for smaller, lighter objects? Yes, the mats are sticky, but it will be nicer to have. I think people are going to be coming out with silicones and different things like that. So it'll be, you want something to stick to. Make sure that you're not just typing in O1 and that you are scanning, because the O1 was for the earlier entries whenever they were doing quick draws during the lives. Let me see. Let's see here. I just pre-ordered and got the DT plus UV, did not get the Wonder Press. Do you really need that for direct to shirt? No, you can use any press for the direct to shirt. So any press that you have. So if you already have one, you can use that one. You don't have to have the Wonder Press for that. And so, hello, Christina, how are you? What it would look like if you just skipped, printed the black. It would probably look great. It just would not have that same texture. I'm going to pull over one here. I'm over here making minifigs. Let me see. So we did, if you were watching the live last night, I'm going to hold these up. I'm going to try to come over to the camera right here. So this is a picture that my son took in South Lake Tahoe. He lives there, waterfalls. He sends things in the family chat. So I made a phone case. Then I took the same picture and I transformed it into a stained glass. And so I don't know if you guys can see the texture on it. So the texture is really what gives it that ripple effect. But I think you could just print the black and be okay with it. So I definitely think that you could. But it is fascinating to me that this turned into this. And still, I am in DFW. I'm in the mid-cities, Colleyville area, halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth. Let's see. You will need some sort of, yes, you have to have some sort of heat press, but it does not have to be the Wonder Press. And so you're very welcome, Adina. You're very welcome. And let's see, I would, thank you. Yes, any heat press would work. Thank you, Viviana. Thank you, Lisa. I know I'm very like, it's sometimes things are worth the time it takes to do it. Whoops, I lost a little minifig hand. Hold on, guys. And I lost his head too. It's been fun hanging out with this. Can you show us the back side of the stained glass? Sure. It is just flat. So the back side is flat. It's like this. You can still see the ripples through both of them. So if you see how the light catches the front, so the light doesn't really reflect off the back the same way as it does off the front. But you could use these, you could put holes in them and make little sun catchers, things like that. The software does figure out the varnish layer. I did nothing except use my Atom credits and let it do its work. Let's see. Leslie, make sure you scan the QR code and don't just type in O1, because it is not, the O1 was for when they were doing quick draws during the live the other day. Pre-treating stuff, dark shirt, yes, because you want it to dry. You are absolutely correct about that, Jason. So when you pre-treat, you want to make sure you spray as evenly possible, because if you spray pre-treat on DT when you're doing direct to garment, if you have heavy spray in one area and light in the other, your ink is going to reflect that. So some areas will be darker than others. So you want to make sure that you want as smooth as possible. You want the nicest cotton shirt as possible, and you want to make sure that it's completely flat on your platen and held down. And so the platen does have, so the platen will have a like this, so it'll snap and will hold down your shirt. And so let's see here. How does the fabric look? I do not have the DVUT yet. It was supposed to be here. Look, we have another one. We're going to just keep making them, but I won't be able to print them tonight. But I will print them and put them in the group. So it does have, I don't have it. It was supposed to be here last Monday. Now it's coming this next Monday. So let's hope that everything, it's on a plane to Texas now from Kentucky. So I can't wait to play with the DT portion of it. So I will let you know. Let's see, on the mini fig, can you put the raised feet outside the print area? Probably so. You probably could. And I could probably, I don't know if I could print them separately, maybe, but I think that you could play with it. Just like whenever I did my hat, you know, like I've got to get this flatter to get a better print on it and not have overspray. So it's the same thing that I think as we are starting to print jigs and starting to do things like that, we'll get better with it. Can you use a roller? So I used to, before we had a pre-treat machine, we had an Epson DTG. But before I got my pre-treat machine, I actually took a foam brush, like a foam paintbrush. And after I sprayed it, I spread it with the foam paintbrush. Hello, Jeff. How are you? And Gina. Hi, guys. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Richard. That's so sweet. So yay. Yes, tomorrow Richard will be here live and for the next 2 nights. So you must use credits when making these items. No, it is not on every item. It's just on certain items. And you can also, you know, use outside generators. You could do things, you'd probably use things like ChatGPT and ask them to create layers for you and test and see. So thank you, Arlene. I love the hat. I can't wait to like refine that process and figure out a jig for it. And I can't wait. My friend has no idea what is in store making that jig. The Adams credit, you can purchase Adams credits on the Atom website, and they are usable with any of the AI generated things inside of the xTool Studio. And so it's not, yes, that is correct. Thank you, Jason. So a lot of people say, oh, why is xTool doing it this way? It's really not xTool. This is just the way it is. Like, this is how you need to do it. So you're so welcome, Davila. I'm sorry that tonight my throat is going and I'm also a little tired. It's been a long week doing this, but I do not have the laminator. So unfortunately, I cannot show the benefits of the laminator. I'm hoping that we will get one soon from them so that we can. I will say that the foil feature is going to be amazing with the laminator. I cannot wait for that. So what about the odor? I don't smell anything, but I've been printing for years and doing epoxy for years with and without a mask. Don't judge, don't, you know, like, but so I probably am nose blind, but however, I'm also in a big open studio in an office building. We run air filtration. If I were at a house, in my house, I absolutely would have the desktop purifier or the AP2 connected to this. So yes, you do get certain credits. I mean, they do add some. So filter is in here like this. There's a filter here, and then there's a vent on the back that you could add. So I think it's just going to be personal preference on that. I mean, it's done a really good job. I don't smell it. People come in here, they don't smell it. But I think if I were in home, especially if I were running it like in my dining room, I would add a filter to a purifier to it. So I don't really know how to tell you that we're printing now. I've been here for 3 nights printing, way past my bedtime. So I've been showing how the Omni works. So if you don't like me, Richard will be here tomorrow night, and he's probably not as nice as me. So let me see here. And everything on this table down here has been printed with the studio. So yes, I am planning more like this. Whenever xTool asks me to come live, I'm happy to come live and do more projects. And so this is the hat. I tried it earlier today. I kind of just quickly made a jig with my P3. I did not have it flat like it should be to get good printing. I just really wanted to see. So I do think I'll need a 3D jig to hold it like totally steady. As someone said, I could also cut the banding off so that it would fit completely inside. But for a first try, I'm extremely happy with that. We can add some color to our laser engraved hats. So Richard, I just say you might speak your mind a little bit more than me, friend. For the DT stickers, you definitely need the laminator. So you to do DT stickers, because what you do with a DT sticker is you're going to print on one film, there's AB film. So you print on the film, and then what you do is you print and then you run it through the laminator, and then that's what makes it all come together and be able to apply. So the durability is extremely high. I think that you should test everything though before you sell it, and definitely tell people not to put things in the dishwasher. I see when you put items in there, it is not a photo. It is some type of scan. Any issue with color of items and hard to see, or issues trying to align the image. So no, I have not had issues with that. The scanner is a flatbed here. In fact, I'm going to put the graphic up for you guys to see. So the scanner is actually, whoops, where are we at? There we go. So it is a pixel scan. So think of your scanners from like your paper scanners. It scans flat across the entire surface instead of like a photo. So if you have other xTool lasers, you know that whenever you turn it on, that photo immediately takes a picture of your bed. And even as great as the camera systems are, it's going to start pixel or not fisheyeing as you go out. So this scans it across the entire bed, which takes it a little bit longer to get your initial scan, but then you are very accurate with anything that you are printing and where you're placing it because of the scanning potential. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. Is the P3 hard to learn? So hi, Go Savvy. No, the P3 is not hard to learn. I absolutely love the P3. I feel like the xTool Studio software is so user friendly, and because it runs, the ecosystem runs everything. So once you kind of learn it, and also if you go into, I'm going to hide this so you guys can see it. So just 1 second for me. If you are in xTool Studio and you go to the main page right here. So on your left-hand side is xTool Academy, and you can literally pick any machine and it will have all of the getting started videos. It will have all, you can choose studio so that you can learn the studio software. So everything like that is just right in there for you and makes it very easy to learn and to see it, you know, to be able to learn it. So I always recommend just going to the xTool Academy and starting there. There's tons of great content creators on YouTube, and they do a great job too. But I do think that it is good to start with the official learning before you go and do other things. So Helix, I did it. So when you laser or you print on a hat, you have to kind of you pull your crown inside. And then I made a little jig and I put it on tape. I mean, like totally not the right way. And then, but it does fit in. It touches both sides, but it fits in. So that's why I was not able to like print right here or over here. And so, but I'm excited. I'm going to figure that hat out because that to me is like great. You can print on metal bow bill. So right here we have printed on a piece of stainless steel PVD coated jewelry. We use the metal promoter to keep it from coming off, but it does an absolutely great job on metal. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, guys. The hat is not made of leather. It is like vegan suede. And so it's, I bought them on Etsy from someone who sells laser engravable hats. Looks like that hat, the head got very close to the raised hat part. So it did get very close, and that's why the printing is not consistent. So wherever it's the closest is going to be the clearest print. And can I make transfers for shirts and hats with the dual UV? No, you need the UV DT to make transfers for hats. Let me put the graphic up for you 1 second. So to make transfers for shirts and hats, you will need the UV DT, and so that is for the apparel and for other things. So you can make hat patches with the dual UV, but not on fabric per se, like a regular, like a transfer. So you want the UV DT. And let's see here. We're going to go over here and we're going to come here. And so, night to go edit content. You're so welcome. Beta testing was a job. I will tell you, we have 80 something hours on this piece of equipment over 2.5 months. And it was, you know, we tested and we gave feedback, and the engineers in China are wonderful. Like, I've been up here many times at midnight with them logging in so that they could update firmware so we could problem solve. And mine is a true beta machine. So the new ones coming out are totally different. In fact, the ink is totally different. When I run out of ink, mine's going to be tanked. But it has been watching the progression of this machine grow while beta testing has been truly a privilege. And so let's see, lasers are pretty easy now. Yes, I agree, Jason. Even, you know, when I started with a Glowforge, so it was pretty easy coming from silhouette and vinyl cutting and stuff like that. But there's still a learning curve. But I feel like now the information is so much more out there. Thank you, Kizzy. I appreciate all of your guys' support. Can you print a film? Yes. No. So you cannot print a film with the dual UV. You need the UV DT to print a film, and then add your powder and cure in an oven. So we have done, let me find the hat that we did. So we did this on, basically, it's called hot melt, but it's like heat and bond light. And so we printed flexible white, then we printed 2 layers of color, and then we printed 6 layers of varnish and heat pressed it on. So you can absolutely do some other types of fun things without having the DT. But if you want to make shirts, you need the DT, whether it's DTG, direct to garment, or DTF, direct to film. And so you're so welcome, Kaylee. Hello, Levi friend. How are you? So that is correct. UV DTF are stickers. They are decals that you apply to hard objects. And I know it's very confusing because like DTG, DTF, UV DTF, but UV DTF is what you use the laminator for. So you're very welcome. I'm happy to help. It is so much fun to do. Do you have to use adhesive promoters for? Yes. I'm watching it out there. There's police car or lights or something out there. That's kind of scary. Yes, you do need to use promoter. So xTool is making these little packets of promoter for different materials. You can also buy bottles of promoter from different companies. The bottles are very expensive though. My bottles of promoter are like $80. So I much prefer the single use. And let's see, make sure, William, that you're scanning and not just entering your email, because you need to scan and then enter your email. Will I be doing an embroidery sample when I get the other DT? Hopefully, you know, it was really funny because we had no idea about the embroidery. I mean, and so when I was watching the live the other night and there's like an embroidery machine sitting there, I'm like, guys. And so then I messaged my contact, right? And I said, hey, when's this embroidery machine coming out? And it was like, we can't tell you. So, but I do have embroidery. So I don't know. And I also don't understand as a stitcher, how, because when you do embroidery, things have to be digitized, right? So I'm not really understanding how the process is going to work. You know, so you would have to have the whole thing digitized, or you'd stitch it out in a solid color. And then, so I'm not really, you know, that might take, unless the software is going to have something that's going to transform it into simple stitches, you know, just a flat stitch. Not really sure how that's going to work. Correct. Thank you, Jason. You're so helpful. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Rico. I appreciate you. F1 Ultra. I love the F1 Ultra. And so, yes, try the Academy. I love the Academy. I tell everyone about it because I just think we have so much knowledge right there at our fingertips. We might as well use it. And so, hey, Sean, let's see. Do you have any insight into shipping? I do not because I'm not an xTool employee. I just talk really fast, so they let me do the lives. So I don't know when it's all shipping. You have to think when you do a pre-order, though, the shipping comes on a ship from China, comes across the ocean, goes to ports, then it gets on trucks and gets shipped. So, and I think that's why the pre-order. So, hello, Jess. Yes, the video will stay up on the xTool channel. And so, yes, the top is flattened. That is correct. Oh, I agree, Kaylee. Like this right here is why I bought my big UV, and I could never do it because I could never get it aligned. And having this pixel scan and being able to like mask and put it in, it's game changing, absolutely game changing. Is there any way to see one in person? Yes. So if you go to the xTool website, at the very top, it'll say local service, and you click that, and then it says demo. Rich can correct me if I'm wrong. And then you choose. And so if there's not one close to you, you can also choose virtual, and then someone just Zooms with you one-on-one and can show you like up close and stuff like that. How's printing on wood and acrylic? It is absolutely amazing. So let me try to find, let's see, this sample is on metal right here. And I can't really, I'm hoping I'm holding them close enough. This is a challenge coin. So it's gold on one side, but there's the challenge coin printed. That was printed flat. This challenge coin was printed with a varnish layer. This challenge coin was printed with texture. And so then let me find wood. So we do a lot of wood blocks, like little shelf sitters, and it does amazing on those. Just like that. So you can just print directly on to just, this is wood. You can print directly onto canvas. So these are just the plain canvases. You can print directly onto canvas. This is on acrylic with multiple layers, heavy texture that we did. Let me see, other acrylic. So these are in the 3D generator in there. So there's back print and front print. And so, but yeah, so you can print on multitude of different things. And with DT on a baseball hat. Yes, I will put that in, and then I'm sure they'll ask either someone, they'll ask someone to do a YouTube on it. So it might be me, might be someone else. But yes, I will ask them to do that. Don't use a powder with UV ink. It's only used for fabric. That is correct. Let's see. I am stoked. I know. I'm so happy about this. When layering on leather patches, can I still use my heat press? Yes, you can. So yes, I agree. And I will tell you guys, when my original large tray warped, and I thought it was my fault because I have a really bad habit of taking things off and just kind of leaving them, like leaning them up against the table, wherever they were, and it warped. And I tried putting my heat press on it. I could not get it to unwarp, which meant I couldn't calibrate and keep my alignment because that's done on the large tray. So they had to ship me one from China, and the build of the second tray was far superior to the build of the first one, that they have made improvements continuously based on feedback. Is the powder harmful for DTG? So you do not use powder for DTG, you only use powder for DTF transfers. I personally would not inhale it. That's why I use the apparel printer. I see people all the time though on TikTok and stuff, and they just shake it. I don't know. So I would say that I would probably wear masks personally. And is the hat with DT? Nope, the hat was just printed with flexible ink on the UV. And so flexible white ink, regular ink, and it will improve. This is my first prototype. And and I know that people will say, oh my gosh, why are you showing an ugly hat? Because I think we all start with ideas and then we continuously improve, and that someone else might build the jig, and then we all have hats that are beautiful even if we can't paint. And so so you can print on something like a canvas bag. I don't really understand the process because I would never think to print on canvas with my UV, but you can print. I know people who do it, Kaylee. Hello from the Philippines across the big ocean. I think the rigid ink will be fine on canvas. Oh yeah, because you're not going to, so on a big canvas, it's already stretched, it's already solid. So you're not going to be twisting and bending it, things like that. So only use white thread. Yes, that is correct on the embroidery, but embroidery still has to be digitized to tell the embroidery machine how to stitch it. So I'm not sure how that's going to be, if it's going to just be pre-done things or if we can do logos. So it's going to be interesting how that process, but I'm not privy to that yet. To order the O1 when we did the pre-order. So log in, Joe, to your account, and then under your like purchases, you'll see it. You'll click that link, or you'll click the link in the email, and then you'll continue the checkout from there. And so it's made in China. Yes, it's made in China. It's not fun to breathe the fumes with curing. Yes. If you're going to do large volume, the official word from xTool is that if you're doing large volume of printing for apparel, that you do the xTool apparel printer. So what am I seeing with ink consumption? Very, very good ink consumption. I've been printing since late April, and let me see, I always forget which one it is, either the rigid or the flexible white. I've replaced a waste tank. I've replaced fluorescent yellow, but I think that was due to something leaking, like not leaking, but something was not correct there because I haven't really used fluorescent. And then the regular white, but I have not replaced any other colors in here. So the ink usage is very good. And let's see, do I need flex to print on canvas for wall art? I do not think that you do. Scan the QR code. Thank you, Jason. Yes, that is absolutely correct. If you want to enter to win, and they will email you. So make sure you keep an eye on your spam folder. How long do the texture coins run? It does not come off. And I don't remember because we did not keep times in the beginning because we have progressively increased our time as it has gone along. And then now they're going to be enacting the bidirectional to where it's going to print going both directions. So I want to say that the textured coin, because it's so small, maybe 15, 20 minutes, but it was not excessively long. About the front print and the back print. Let's see, Arlene, I'm not sure. The front print and the back. Oh, so yes, that is a generator. I went through it yesterday. I think Thursday night. If you go back to Thursday Night Live, Thursday's Night Live, there's a generator in the xTool studio now. And so you put your picture in, and then you pick whatever color you want for the background, and you pick whether you want hearts or you want flowers. And then you turn it over. So on the back side, you print color then white, and that magnet is actually attached to that side. And then on the front, you print, this is all varnish right around here to give it that three-dimensional kind of look. So these are all little varnish dots, and then this is white with your image. And so it's really cool because if you hold it just the right way, you can see the hearts. And so I don't know where the one is that I did on the live, but we did a butterfly and flowers, but I don't see it on the table. We've been moving things around. Yes, Ryan, printing is so much more forgiving than lasering. And so, oh yeah, so there's so many cute things. Size limitation for DT projects, it's gonna whatever fits on the bed. The actual size is on the website, I believe. Let me see, I don't think I have the bed size in here. But it's basically A4, which is 12.5 by 16. And so your regular t-shirt sizes are going to fit. And let's see, Arlene. So I know it's not, I know it's not an ugly hat, but people are always very critical. Like, why would you show something that failed? And I think that it's good for us to see that there's failures, and you have to practice, and you have to try things to see if you get better at them. Starting to use until you felt comfortable with the different materials really, really fast. Now, I came from commercial UV printing. I've been printing eco solvent and other things for years. So I was already familiar with printing, but the way that this works in the xTool ecosystem is so quick and easy to grasp and to pick up that it was really not an issue at all. And so when I had to learn my other printers, like it was hard. The software was hard. The different things were hard. I mean, I think that you walk around your house and you start putting things in that printer and you start testing, like you'd be like, oh, that picture frame. One of our other testers actually went to like a thrift store and got all kinds of like picture frames and different things and just made some reused art until he got comfortable with the different settings. Yes, it does support lenticular printing. We got a package of the 75 LPI, I think, lenticular prints. I know that people who really print lenticular a lot, like there's a lot of hubbub about like different LPIs. I don't really understand how the lenticular does it, that there is a generator inside to create your lenticular prints. So thank you, Martha. Hello from California. Hello. Yay, Greg. You're going to love, love, love it. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Bay Area. Let's see. DTF, different brand of DTF, D2 UV printer, melt. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, Angie. I don't want to smell any powder. Do you think the stained effect is better printed on the front face, or I think it's better printed on the front because you want the light to catch the texture of the varnish. And so, hello, UK. It's late there, like what, 3 a.m. And so, a size limit for shirts, yes. Jason was kind enough to just do that. 11.8 by 15.4 for shirts. Which ink is used for hot foil stamping, flex white, or gloss? It is gloss. So under the gloss settings, there are choices of matte, glossy, and then using it for stamping. And so, and that is just based on whenever you choose that, what will happen is the UV lamps will cure it at a different rate for whichever one you're going to use. UV printing versus sublimation. I think it's equal. I think it's, you know, honestly, I think it's personal preference. I like how they UV prints, but if I needed a different price point, I would sublimate. So I think it's really, you know, for me too, like different things, you use different mediums to do different projects. So like if I were doing a really like heirloom gift, I would embroider it. For me, kitchen tea towels are better in DTG than in DTF. But again, this is all personal preference. So as you kind of like make things, you will start figuring out like what you like and what your customers like too. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Karita, is that how you say your name? I appreciate that so much. So the machine is endless. Do I need flex ink to print on faux leather? So I actually did a test. I don't know where it's at, but if you go to the official xTool Omni group and search my name, Bev Pennington, B-E-V Pennington, I did print with rigid on the leatherette, and I like twisted and turned it, and it was really hard to crack it. So I do think that if you were going to apply that patch directly to a hat where it's not going to be, you know, bent all the time, because once it's applied, it's pretty solid. I think that you could. I mean, obviously you want to test it, but I honestly think that you could use it in that way. So what's up with the vacation mode? Yes. So what's really great is, let me hide the QR code for just a second from you guys. And then I'm going to make my screen big for the Omni. I'm going to minimize over here. And then under device health, it'll show you how long, how many operating times, your working time, all of those things. So if you have the dual UV, that'll show here. If you have UV DT, it'll show here. You can put one of the print heads to sleep. So let's say you have the UV DT and you're not doing DT very often, you can actually put it to sleep, or you could put both of them to sleep. And so that way you can, it'll flood the print head with moisturizing liquid and will let you take a little longer break than what you might normally do. So let's see. Is this an every night thing now? Same person, same stuff? No, it's not. I just happened to do the first 3 nights because I was a beta tester. And so you're free to go watch someone else. So print on any finish without using sublimation. Yes, that is correct. And so the texture won't throw. Yep. Um, how much time after printing a TT sticker do I have before I can't use it again? So I don't really know the answer to that, but I have some stickers in my drawer that I bought like last year, and I still hand them out, still put them on things like that. Bidirectional printing will be coming out. I think it's going to be coming out prior to for even us in the demo rooms. You can hear the noise right now. And so if you're using the small bed and you shut the doors, the noise diminishes greatly. Can you print on a hoodie? Theoretically, yes, but I'm thinking we're going to need to put something underneath it, like when you heat press a hoodie to raise it up to where you get the right height. Let's see. Stuff that can yeah, I know, right? UV is on top. That is correct. And so, let's see here. It is, if you go back to my video from yesterday, we went through all of the maintenance yesterday, and it's actually very easy to maintain and operate. Can we use custom depth maps or we type? No, you can. They have come out and said that you can pull in your own custom depth maps without an issue. And so, hi, Rachel. How are you? 321. Wow. What do we know about the new printer out? According to the comment by Kim and Garrett, apparently there's a reason testers weren't sent the DT model. I don't know. I haven't seen their comments. Testers were sent the DT model. There were 2 testing groups. I was in group 1. I have the beta where there's very few of them. And then about a month later, a second wave of testers tested the UV DT model. My UV DT model is actually got stuck at UPS and will be here on Monday. So that is absolutely an incorrect statement because there were at least 6 or 7 beta testers that had the UV DT. I don't know what Kim and Garrett are talking about. They're not squad members. I don't really know. And they were not testers. So are there different varnish glosses? Yes, matte, glossy, and there is also the one that you use when you're using foil. And basically you just select it in your settings and the UV lamps will cure at the rate that it needs to create that. Hello, Eric, how are you? I know the possibilities are endless. They really are. I mean, I can't wait to see you guys start your projects and their own sublimation printer. You know, I bought a sublimation printer from Best Buy. I just bought like the Epson 15,000. And so to use with the WonderPress, I sold literally all of my sublimation stuff about 3 weeks before they messaged me and said, hey, WonderPress coming your way. So anyhow, so I had to go buy one really fast. So it would be nice, but I do think that the colors on, I think that xTool stands out in the G7 certified color range. And so Ross, you can go back and rewatch it. Just go to xTool. And then I think on their channel, you click live and then you can go back and watch all of the lives. So thank you so much, Angie. Let's see, must make room for it. Yes. Would it be safe to use this printer in a walk-in closet? Yes, absolutely. It's mine is the dual head. I have the UV. And so, let's see. I'll have to watch a replay. Thank you so much, Arlene. I appreciate you so much. Hi, Becky. How are you? I know it's funny because I was like, okay, I'm done with sublimating. I UV print now. But I will say that I've been having a lot of fun with the WonderPress with some of the vacuum form sublimation. Like it's just bringing out something different to do. So I have enjoyed that. So while this is printing, I'm going to go ahead and if you guys want to comment, I'll keep this up for another couple of minutes, but I'm not going to finish printing tonight on live because it's going to take too long. I will take a photo of the results tomorrow and put it in the official Omni group. Sorry guys, I'm a little tongue tied tonight. It is so hot in here. So I cannot wait for them to fix our AC, especially because it's going to be 107 in Texas this week. It's going to be crazy. Sydney, if you make sure you scan the QR code, because the O1 was for their quick draw. And so if you want to enter to win the ink, and the ink winners will be announced within 48 hours. They will email you if you won the ink. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. And then I will let you guys see where I do not have the DTF. I have the UV. I don't have UV DT. So printing on a curved object. So I want to say it is 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, because I tried to do ring dishes that were down, and so then it would be it like sprays too far down, and so my voice is a little tired. I mean, I think it's like right there. So 24, holy cow. Still confused on the varnish. Do you change the cartridges? No, it is all one cartridge. What happens is when you select it in the software, it tells the heat lamps, the UV lamps, which is what cures everything. It tells it how much to cure it. So for glossy, you're really curing. For matte, it's like a medium cure. And then for the foil to stick to it, it's a lighter cure. Um, so um, so Aaron, the bidirectional printing will be turned on. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it. You're so welcome year round. And so let's see, no printer cures it based on selection to give. Yes, correct. Thank you, Stevie or Steve. I appreciate that. You are welcome, Rachel. I appreciate you. And so, right. So it's so our beta version has increased in speed. Like what took us 20 minutes to begin with is now taking us like 12, 13 minutes, and it's going to increase from there again. So you're welcome, Kaylee. So you guys, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to let this finish printing, and then I'll add the black tomorrow morning when I get in here, and I'll take a picture. And wait, tomorrow's Sunday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. So I'll take a picture. I won't be here till tomorrow afternoon. You are so welcome, Melissa. And thank you guys for all the nice people, kind people. I appreciate you so much. And then I will tomorrow afternoon, I'll finish it up and I'll post some photos for you guys in the official channel. And tomorrow, make sure you tune in because Richard will be here. Yes, Ashley, if you go onto the YouTube for xTool, it'll say live. And so if you click live, then it'll show all the previous lives. And so you're so welcome. You're welcome, Castile. And so anyway, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Davila. So I enjoy doing them. 3 nights in a row is a little tough because it's probably past my bedtime, but I will see you guys around and let you know how it looks tomorrow. Okay. Bye guys. Good night.